Ah, there I am. Do not be gone for long.
Ah, you know well, everyone, I might as well. Thank you. You will...
Oh, champ, do you wish... Godspeed, champion.
Ah, 'tis good, wasn't he? Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered. Ah, 'tis good what needs.
Ashen One for the link. Very well, then take no.
Let these souls withdrawn from their essence, manifestations of disparity.
Ashen One.
Eleanor, help me, please. The Red Hood is come to eat us.
what? Still here? Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
was bullshit. I know bullshit when I call it. Like, if the shield is up and he still gets me, and that's bullshit. This is what I'm talking about with regards to Dark Souls games. Like the older ones. Like, it makes no sense. My health was above the halfway marker, and the attacks simply just cut straight through the shields and through the armor. It makes no sense. Sometimes you wonder, like, I hear people like talking about the game actually cheating and stuff. Like, sometimes you feel that the game is actually fluctuating. Like sometimes it gives you a leeway, and sometimes it just fluctuates above more, like it's a dampened wave. That's the way it feels like to me. It makes no sense sometimes. see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense. The combo is counting the combo of the attacks. And it's channeling the entire combo of the attacks into the last hit. But you're not getting hit by the combos, you're just getting hit by the last attack. There's something strange about Dark Souls games. It's hard to actually get into some of them sometimes. You're saying to yourself, this makes no sense. It makes no sense. And it's the same thing over and over again. Things that it just doesn't make sense. Like logically, if the last attack is that powerful, and it takes more than half your health, then the final hit is the killing blow. But if you weren't getting hit by any of the attacks before the killing blow, so the killing blow is more than half of your health being taken away by the last hit, which doesn't actually make sense for the last hit of the attack to be the one that takes the most amount of hits. Because if that's the case, then all the power is being channeled into the final hit, and the combo is just a setup for the final hit, and it has nothing to do with the combo. It's just the powers of more than half the health is in the final hit. It doesn't really make sense, but apparently that's just how it is. Doesn't really make sense at all. Like if you properly dodge the attack, all of a sudden it doesn't really make sense. Like that's a proper dodge, but sometimes it's acts as if it doesn't understand what you're trying to do, or it kind of feels like it cheats the game. Like that, for instance, it says, I'm fully aware of the time when he does the attack. When to let go, when to hold on to your shield. Like that. That makes no sense. See, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. The shield was up the whole time. All the attacks before didn't do anything, but then the shield was up the whole time. It was there the whole time. It cut straight through the shields and through the armor. The goddamn game closed the gap between the window of when you raise your shields to the time for which you're doing the block. So it's like it doesn't count the block. Like if the window between the raising of the shield and the block isn't more than a second, but that's the thing. I was holding the shield up the whole time. I was holding the shield up the whole time. So I'm trying to understand the logic of the game. If the shield can absorb 80% magic, 80% dark, and the remaining percentage would go towards your armor. So I would have to wear armor that's high in dark. I'm trying to understand the logic of this fight, because the shield was up the whole time during that fight. The whole time. There's shit that just doesn't make sense in this world sometimes. So even if the shield is up the whole time, it doesn't matter. If the dark damage is 100% or more, it doesn't matter if your shield is up. The shield can take 80%, literally take 80% damage of dark. So I have to wear armor additional to that of the shields to fill in that gap, even if the shield is up. So this is what I'm going to do. So hopefully this works. Magic defense, well, let's do dark. Dark absorption. Physical damage. Absorption when HP is low. I have physical absorption and absorption when HP is low, and stamina recovery. And I'm putting on dark. And I switched the armor to this. And I'm rocking a shield. That takes 80% damage absorption. My weight ratio is pretty good. So I don't understand how an enemy could cut through when the shield's fully up. Know when to let go and when to hold on to the shields to recover my stamina. I know when to wait for his attack and when to swing. I know he's going to retaliate. Let go. Hold on to shields again. If I happen to take the block there, let go again. Let go. Let go. Grab on. Let go. Grab on. Recover shields. Wait for him to come to me. Oh, see, that was too early. That was too early. Which he's now gonna follow up with, if I heal again, he's gonna do it. That was too early. That's understandable. Also understandable. Have the stamina. Have stamina recovered. This enemy is trying to deplete your stamina. There you go. Trying to close the gap so he could do his combos. I want him to do what I want him to do, not what it wants him to do. There, hit, block, back up, recover stamina, stay at a distance, let him close the gap. Let's see if the game is going to cheat again. It keeps... There you go. Recover stamina. The sole purpose of this boss fight is to try to destroy your stamina. So you don't have time to... So you can follow up with a next attack. So you gotta let go shield, hold the shield. Keeps moving forward so he could close the gap to do his combos. I'm not gonna let it. Recover stamina. Recover stamina. Keep a good distance. More stamina. Okay. Block. There you go. And he tries to do the combo. Stamina. 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 Health. I knew it. Stamina. Stamina. I knew it. Just trying to destroy your stamina. There you go. There you go. Shields up. It's still blocking. Still blocking. Still blocking. Stamina. 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 Knew it. Just trying to. Oh. Stamina. It's trying to make me do what it wants me to do. I'm not gonna let it. I'm gonna wait for an opening. Not interested in this guy's little thing. Skipping that. Slave Knight Gael. Alright, so this is one long drawn out fight. This guy's tougher than he looks. And he has 3 phases, not 2. So it doesn't even matter if I have... It's like I would have to use all 14 of my flasks in order to survive that fight. And I would probably have to, even though I have damage absorption when HP is low. Yeah, this works fine. But the problem is the recovery time for the actual weapon is atrocious. So I'm gonna... I don't know. If I switch to a smaller weapon, the time period to do this hit with a smaller weapon might be bad. So I might need all my flasks for this fight. Because I had no idea he has 3 phases. 3. Not 2. And he hits like a truck. So I might need all 3 of my flasks, all 14 flasks for this.
Ah, 'tis good. What needs?
Maybe all 15.
Pretty be careful.
I have to be careful with this guy because the time period for this is not even worth it. The only thing that makes sense is to do this. Lure him into a poison mist. That's the only thing that makes sense. And all 15 flasks. I had no idea this dude had 3 phases to him. And he's carrying a big weapon, so the sole purpose of that is to destroy your stamina. So you have no way to block thereafter. It's so weird. It's like the game cheats sometimes. I know the openings, the time periods for it's so strange. Like, see, it worked perfectly there. Sometimes it's like the game doesn't even know what it wants to do. like that. That doesn't make sense. The shield was already up. Shield was already up. Like the window between the shield being fully in front of you, which is already up, to the time period when the draw period of the shield to the shield being exactly. It's like there's an open window for even when the shield's in front of you. It doesn't really make sense. Oh shit. That is how you beat the Slave Knight Gael. It's not hard. You just have to figure out when he's going to do his attacks. And you have to have a lot of stuff to protect you from dark attacks. Physical damage attack, damage absorbed when HP is low, and dark damage. A maxed out naval shield will be great because it absorbs 250. And a maxed out weapon, it doesn't have to be this, but it has to do at least 500, 400 to 500 damage. You could just wait patiently, or you could run in there guns blazing and hope that you win. But my recommendation, if you're terrible at this game, is to carry 15 flasks, 15 Estus flasks, and a maxed out shield, and a maxed out weapon. And guard. When he hits your weapon, your stamina goes down. Release, guard. Release, guard. Whenever you see your stamina is dropping low, release, guard. Whenever he comes in to attack, keep it up. If it doesn't hit it, still keep it up. Back up, back up. Whenever he hits it, release, guard. And then go for the attack once you know his combo is coming. That's how you beat that guy. I died to him only 4 times. Only 4 times. Simply because I have this max out shield, this armor that guards dark magic, and a max out weapon. Now I understand the pose requirements for this, or the weight requirement for this is 68.8. So you would have to have minimum weight ratio of 70%. So you will have to meet the weight requirements to carry both this heavy weapon, this heavy shield, and this heavy gear. So you will definitely have to be anywhere within the proximity for your vitality at 80%. I'm at 99. So you have to be 80 to 85. If the weight ratio is still high at 85, it's imperative that you put on, if you believe you're better at blocking, to put on naval ring, which increases max weight load, which lowers your equipment load in order for you to put on more stuff. So if you're not that terrible at blocking or at fighting like I am, you can simply put this on, wear what I have on, if you don't have a 99% vitality load. But you have to have within the 80 ratio, because the ring will only give you a certain amount in order to get that weight to block those heavy attacks. So that's how you beat that boss. The only reason I have 99 vitality, I only did it for fun. I wanted to carry the heaviest shield, the heaviest weapon, and the heaviest armor. And the only way to do so is to have a vitality that's at 99%, which is the highest the vitality could ever go. I did that for funsies only. I didn't care about anything else. I only cared about the strength and the equipment load I could carry. So no matter how shitty I was, my damage could be absorbed through my weapon, through my armor, and through my elements I have on me. But mostly through armor and through weapons. And that's all. You don't need to have 99, but I guarantee you'll probably need to have around the 80 or 85% ratio, then put on the naval ring in order to get you back up to where you need to carry heavy armor. That fight is just about timing. You probably don't even need 85. You just need to know when the timing happens, when to lift your shields, when to not lift your shields, and the essential factor is dark damage. An armor that carry dark damage, and when to lift shields and when not to lift shields. So I'm going to continue on. His fighting arena is incredibly huge, so I don't know where. Oh, there it is. Okay. Now, if you're terrible at this game, it's imperative to have 15 Estus flasks. Now, if you're a magician, or you're going for magic class, sorcerer class, obviously the route you want to take is 15 ashen flasks rather than Estus flask, because you'd be casting magic all the time. So you would need more magic than you would need health, because I didn't use a single magic there. But if you don't need the whole 15, I would say that fight you only really need 2 of these. If you're going for range, you'll probably only need 2 Estus, and most of them will need for Ashen Flask. The whole point of that fight is rail shields, lower shields, rail shields, lower shields. Make sure your shields can guard the attack. And in order to absorb that amount of damage, you need a powerful shield like the Naval Shield. Because if you don't have a powerful shield like the Naval Shield, even if you miss, even if the enemy misses hitting you, the AoE from the damage, the dark damage, will affect you, and you need a shield to absorb that full AoE effect. So that's that, and that's it for that fight. I'll continue on the story. I just don't know where I have to go. Well, for right now, I'm going to go to Firelink and see if I could claim that weapon of his. Okay, so his weapon is garbage actually. It starts at 147. I'm assuming when you max this out, this will probably get to like 250, 260 most. The strength requires is C. Handling is D. It's a 19 and a 13. That's garbage. His crossbow is probably the best thing of the whole thing. His crossbow. Another navel ring. I don't think you could wear 2. I already bought this. I'll take the ring. It's the only thing that makes sense. His weapon is actually shitty. Alright, so let's see. Continuing the story, but I got 235. I don't want to lose that. So I'll try to max this out.
Ah, 'tis good what needs, Smith.
A repeating crossbow is fantastic. All the crossbows and bows are just shoot 1 and then load and shoot 1. Titanic scales, I need 8 more.
Pretty.
Ah, have. Ashen 1.
Ah, 'tis good what neat.
So this is good for like close range, when you need to hit enemies at close range, rapid fire to get someone out the way, or at least to stop them. Its power is not great, to be honest with you. The power of the Dragon Slayer bow is far more greater than that, and the sniper bow is more powerful than that too. The sniper only requires one slab and is 245 at 59 range, and this one is 49 range, 228, but it is repeating, so it's meant for close range combat.
Prithee, be careful.
It would come in handy down the road, I guarantee you, when you need it. But for now, I would say no, this is less, even though this is maxed out. Yeah, for right now, the sniper crossbow is the best of the crossbows. Whereas the best bows is the Dragon Slayer bow and the Millwood bow. Yeah. Alright. Continue on with the story. Don't want to waste these points.
Ashen 1.
I almost forgot. I had 15 flasks. I have to switch them back to where it was.
What needs? Prithee, be careful. I don't.
So that's how you do that fight. If anyone's having problems with that fight, it's quite simple. Carry a maxed out shields or a maxed out weapon, and make sure you have armor that can block dark damage. Know when to pull up the shields, know when to let go of the shields. Pull up the shields, let go, pull up, let go. And dodge, and hit. Dodge, and hit. Dodge, and hit. Then back up while you have the shields up. Let go. There. Alright, so where to go next? So far I defeated 3 bosses? No. Did I defeat 3? Three bosses. 2 or 3 bosses. So far. So there should be just 2 more. With this DLC. And supposedly Gael, who I just beat, is the hardest among them. Is the hardest one. So I'm not worried about the next 2. If he was supposedly the hardest. The hell? Is this one just one big arena? But there's nowhere to go. This is like Radon fight. The whole entire desert is one big arena. That can't be right. Still have 2 more bosses to go. It looks like it. This looks like it. There's no door, or secret passageway or wall. Maybe maybe I have to go back to the woman. Because Gael said he's defending her in the painted world. Maybe I have to go back to the tower and speak to her. That fight was hard, but it was only hard because I didn't understand the mechanics before. Once I realized what the mechanics were and his attack patterns, it wasn't hard at all. It's just patience. Patience. But she's dead. What the hell's going on? Does this open up? No. So this is when Bloodborne comes in handy. Bloodborne, they give you binoculars to see at long ranges. Or I forgot the name of it. It's not an oscilloscope, or maybe it is. Slave Knight Gael. So there's a pyre here to say you defeated him, but typically that would lead you to the next area. This is strange. Then again, in the Demon Prince, the same thing happened with the Demon Prince. It was just a large area. I thought maybe it was this tower here and the door. Maybe it is. No. What the hell? Nope. Okay, so this isn't it. There is no passage here. It's just the desert. Which means the bosses, the final 2 bosses, are somewhere through one of the other pyres, bonfires. But which one? It's not this one. Definitely not this one. This leads to this one. The church led to the second boss, which I beat. This is the beginning of the DLC right here. Oh, wait a minute. I did beat 3. The Demon Prince was 1. Then this dude was 2nd, and this dude was 3rd. So where the hell is the 4th one? Alright, let me try here. I got 1 more to go. Gael was the hardest one. So I'm not worried about the last guy. So there's one more to go, and then it's on to Final Fantasy. Yeah, I wasn't loving Dark Souls 3 DLC, man. It glitched out on me on that last boss. Okay, let me type this in the internet to see what's going on. So I'm not here all day. Bosses of Ring City. Okay. Slave Knight Gael. All bosses. There's so many bosses. Wait, what the hell? The Demon Prince is one. Darkeater Midir is one. That giant dragon. I never killed it. So apparently that giant dragon is a boss. Boreal Outrider Knight. Never fought him either. So that's two I haven't fought. Gael I beat. Demon Prince I beat. Cactus Sandworm. That's third. Ring Knight. I beat him. Sister Friday. Beat that one. Oh, I see. The Ring Knight. I probably beat the Cactus Sandworm and the Ring Knight, because they're not considered technically bosses. They're mini bosses. Half-Light Spear of Church. So, Spear of Church, Ring Knight, Sister Friday, Slave Gael, Cactus Sandworm. Who the hell is repeating crossbow? White face lookalike Dragon Thief. Didn't fight him. I don't know who that. So there's technically 3 remaining. Great Soul Drag and Flam. So there are many bosses as well, and bosses. At least 2 more bosses, and mini bosses. Okay, so where's Darkeater Midir? Let me fight him. Darkeater. Where is Darkeater Midir? ES3. Ring City. After opening the final shortcut gate near the Ring Inner Wall Bonfire. Ring Inner Wall Bonfire. Okay. Ring Inner Wall. Yes. Use the lift. Halfway down there's an opening. Jump and roll left at the junction into a circular room. Is that technically a boss? That's not really a fight. Wait a minute. Hold on. Look for a statue not holding a sword. It's an illusion. Break the illusionary wall and head down the path carefully. Oh, great. Alright. So there's typical Dark Souls fashion. Explore to find this boss. Randomly. Jesus, man. They don't make it easy. I'm not gonna read all that. That's crazy. Go here to do here to get here to do this to get to the boss. When fighting Midgar on a bridge, it can be best to charge him before he fully stands up and attack. Oh, so he is like a boss. I remember that. He's but that's crazy. Is that the bridge you're talking about? That's madness. How could you beat him on that bridge? Oh, for God's sakes. No, it's not here. Wait a minute. I remember the place I was supposed to go. He pops up. It's not at this bonfire. What the hell is the game talking about? This bonfire. I would have to go backwards from the other bonfire, the next one. From Ring City, I believe. Not this. So he's not at this bonfire either. It's the next bonfire. I would have to go backwards from the next bonfire here in order to go back to here, and he's on a pathway. That was him. That was him. But he wasn't on that bridge. It's another bridge where he is on the ground and you could hit him. Is that really a boss fight? There was no bars or anything to say that was a boss fight. I guess he's a random boss. Yeah, right here. He's right here. More fire. More fire. No. More fire. Okay. He comes down here. Am I really supposed to fight him here? Come on, come on, come on. I am. Whoa. Oh, it's a backwards attack. Is this really a boss? Really? can't see. Christ. Really got me with that. Where are you? Where are you? Where's your face? Is that really a boss fight? Really? Seriously, Dark Souls 3. Okay, well, defeated. On to the next. Look, I'm aware that my guy is carrying the strongest shield and the strongest weapon. But this is not, and of course he's carrying fire-resistant armor. But if you max out the shields and max out a weapon, even if your character is weak, it tanks the damage. Which means, I don't know, man. Like in all Souls games, like it's not about you increasing strength. It's about maxing out the weapons and your gear in order to do more damage and buffs with regards to rings. In this case, I only max out strength because, well, I already soft cap strength. Because soft cap is 50, 60. Simply because so I could do more damage with weapons. But it's mostly about the weapons. It's not about the strength. The maxing out of the weapons and the maxing out of the gear. Okay, so that's 2. I mean, no. Demon Prince, Gael, Bitch Boy of the Church, Reaper of the Church, or whatever his name was. The Gangsters of the Church, Can't Fight You Fair, that's what their names. This enemy right here, this dragon. And I believe I fought the worm. I wonder if that giant-sized woman in the swamp is also one. Because apparently these are all bosses. But you don't know that they're bosses because it doesn't show you like a regular boss fight. Who knows? Honestly, I don't think there's anything else left. But that can't be right. If once the DLC is finished, it would show an ending to the DLC. But it might actually be finished. Because if Gael is the last, then the game can only finish once you complete the regular game. Not the DLC, which is Kin of First Flames. I gotta find out if I'm actually finished with the DLC. Because if Knight Gael was the last boss, then I'm finished. Even if I haven't fought many bosses, which I don't need to, because Slave Knight Gael is the strongest boss. then there's no point in fighting anyone else. It's clear as crystal, the dragon was nothing. Alright, so let me... One last trek before on to Final Fantasy. If things go well, I could start Final Fantasy today. Since today's my day off, I might actually be starting Final Fantasy today if this is my last one for Dark Souls 3. I just have to fight and kill him with the first flame. I already beat him in the regular game and this new game +1. Let me type it in. Final boss of Ring City DLC. Slay Knight Gael. Slay Knight Gael. Who's the final boss of Ring City DLC? Slave Knight Gael. Okay, so I'm finished. I am done with Ashes of Ariandel DLC, and I'm done with Slave Knight Gael DLC. Who's the hardest boss in all of Dark Souls 3, both regular game and DLC? Well, it's definitely not Slave Knight Gael, that's for damn sure. Proof is in the pudding. Died only 4 times to him. Wait it out. Wait it out. Is it Friday? No. She's not hard either. She's just annoying. There's a difference between hard and annoying. She had 3 phases just like Gale. But she's annoying because she kept disappearing and popping up behind you. So you had to know her mechanics as well. She wasn't hard. She was just annoying. The most annoying boss in Dark Souls, I would say Sister Friday is the most annoying, but not hard. So who was the actual hardest boss I fought in Dark Souls 3? I would have to go back to the bonfire. Starting from the beginning. Gunrear? Definitely not Gundyr. He was the beginning boss. Boreal? Not Boreal. Consumed King? Definitely not him. I was severely disappointed in that fight. Abyss Watchers. The Abyss Watchers. I believe they are the hardest ones. Because they were annoying as shit. Because even though you don't understand the mechanics, the Abyss Watchers is basically the killing of the first flame. But the difference between the Abyss Watchers and kill of the first flame is that the Abyss Watchers charge at you with a plunging attack, and then the moment he closes the gap with you, he goes for a combo. Whereas kill of the first flame, you have to be close to him for him to do that combo attack. He doesn't charge at you. What he does is he runs towards you, and then he tries to do the combo. But Abyss Watchers does a charging attack, and then follow up by the combo. I don't know, anyone talking about Sister Friday is hard. Or Gale. The proof is in the pudding. The enemy that gave me the most trouble was the Abyss Watchers. I had to look it up online to get the proper weapon to beat them. In other words, if I didn't look it up online, how to get this weapon, and how to knock them off their ass with this weapon, this. If I didn't know how to do this, and the Abyss Watcher fall to the ground, and I do this again. While he was getting up, he fell to the ground. I do this again. He fell to the ground. And then, in his second phase, he transformed, and you can't do this anymore, otherwise you're dead meat. The second phase is all about him charging towards you, and then he follows up with a combo. So it's like Gale. You had to raise the shields. You had to raise the shields, let go of the shields, hit. But the difference between the Abyss Watchers and Gale, their recovery of their stamina was much harder than Gale's because they were carrying less of a big weapon, but they had fire attached to that weapon. This is coming from someone who's not a pro Dark Souls gamer, a shitty gamer. An assessment of all Dark Souls bosses. The most trouble was the Abyss Watchers. For those people who've never played a Souls game, never played a Dark Souls 3 game, not 2 or 1, or Bloodborne, or Elden Ring, but Dark Souls 3 game, the most difficult boss based on logic was the Abyss Watchers. Now I'm talking, so let me just go back to different bonfires of different ones I beat. Deep, they consider deep? Nope, they were chumps. Let's see, Catacombs of Carthus. Old Knight's Chamber. Old Demon King? Nope, he was a chump. Granted, I did have people to help me with fighting him, but he moved slower than Gael did, so he was weaker than Gael, easily. His AoE fire was the only problem, so you had to know when to back up and when to close in the gap. So it definitely wasn't him. Ithrael, Devourer of the Gods, Aldrich. He was fast. However, I understood his mechanic. When to lift my shields, when to let go, keep a distance, close it in when he finishes combo, hit him. He goes into his second phase. Don't focus on his illusion, focus on him. Wait for his illusion to finish the attack. While his illusion is doing the attack, lock onto him and hit him, because he will be walking around letting his illusion do the attack through his own powers. Thus he had his guard down. He would raise to take a swing when you get too close, but if you go behind him, you hit him. That's the problem with the big bosses, the big tall guys. You just walk up behind them and hit them in it. As long as you're paying attention to your stamina bar, like I did with Gael, every time I take a hit to my shields, I raise it back up. That boss wasn't hard either. He gave me trouble, but it wasn't more trouble than the Abyss Watchers were. I needed actual help from someone to beat the Abyss Watchers, like really serious help. Like I was struggling with the Abyss Watchers. And I know there's a method of how to beat them, but I just found it far more easy to beat all these bosses. Let's see. Dragon Slayer armor. Second most difficult boss, because his AoE does a lightning damage to the floor, and the enemies that were shooting, the dragons that were shooting death from above while he was attacking you, was a problem in second phase. So you're trying to avoid them and him at the same time, and he hits like a truck, just like Gael. But I had more trouble fighting Gael, to be honest with you, than I did Dragon Slayer armor. So Gael would still be slightly above this guy, because Gael had a third phase, he did not. Twin Princes? No. No. They weren't chumps, but they definitely weren't stronger than Gael. They did that invisible thing that Friday did? No. You just had to understand their mechanics. Archdragon Peak, the dragon boss that I jump on top of his head, easiest boss in the entire game. One hit kill. Definitely no. Kill him with first flame. Like I said, only difficult thing about him is staying too close to him. Had more trouble with Abyss Watchers than him. DLC. Sister Friday, most annoying boss in the entire Dark Souls 3. But not the hardest, because you understand that she was bitch made, and you understand how mechanics work. She's not the bitchiest of the Dark Souls 3 bosses. The bitchiest goes to no, not Champion Gravetender, no. Wasn't Demon Prince. Demon Prince gave me difficulty. I would say out of all Dark Souls 3 bosses, they would be... there it is. They would be the second. Because even though they only had 2 phases, it was 2 of them in the fight at the same time. I was fighting 2 giant-sized demons at the same time. And then they turned into one that did an AoE splash attack. So Demon Prince will come in second. Gael will come in third. I died more times to the Demon Prince than I ever did against Gael. Abyss Watchers is still harder to me than Demon Prince was. And then there's... Oh yeah, and then there's the bitchiest boss in all the game. Bitch Maid Central, family of bitches. A whole gang of people coming at you. Two fighters coming at me from left and right. While he was in the background. You know, swinging his big, like, I killed him, and then he summoned two enemies to come at me at once. One runs towards me, and the other slowly wait for me to hit the one that's running toward me, and then he came up from the side to do bitch attack. I said, you motherfucker, you little bitch, and then when I charge towards him, he runs away while I'm charging towards him. The bitchiest boss in all of Dark Souls 3, maybe all of Dark Souls, is right here. The church, the spear of the church, the punkest bitch of all times. And Slave Knight Gael, finally. Slave Knight Gael will come in as number 3 hardest boss in Dark Souls 3. I died more to Demon Prince than Slave Knight Gael. Period. And I'm shitty at this game. I died more times to Abyss Watchers than Slave Knight Gael and Demon Prince. And I'm shitty at this game. So if people are saying Abyss Watchers aren't hard, Slave Knight Gael is hard, and Demon Prince is harder, just look at the footage of my battle fighting Slave Knight Gael. What was hard about that fight? Not a damn thing. So I'm done. All I gotta do is now fight fight this guy all over again, which means I'm gonna die all over again. Actually, wait a minute. If I'm scared of this guy more than I am of Gael, does that mean Kill of the First Flame is actually... I'm more worried about him than Gael? Yes, I am. Because if he catches me in that combo, it's a one-shot kill. Millennia style, going up in the air. Yeah, so Kill of the First Flame is even harder than Gael too. Fuck Gael. He's in the 4th place. This guy is harder than Gael as well. Let's do this. End of Dark Souls 3. I don't really need to beat him. I already beat him. I could basically close out the game right now and say I'm finished. Evidence of me fighting and beating this boss was in New Game Plus. I mean, in the first playthrough. I'm just closing it out for New Game Plus. If he dies easy in New Game Plus, then that means he is weaker than Gael. And Gael is above him. And he's in the 4th slot. But if I die more than 5 times to this guy, more than 6 times to this guy, then I don't know what the hell everyone's talking about. Definitely Gael ain't stronger. That's my shield. And he's fire too. It's a fire boss too, so I'm wearing the right armor. However, the damage, physical damage, might be a problem. See, this is why I think he's stronger than Gael. Because I'm not worried, like in Gael fight, I was worried about the dark damage effect rather than the physical damage. Here, I'm concerned about the actual physical damage more than the fire damage. Because I know the shield is going to tank the fire. But it won't tank the actual physical damage. Freaking Gael. Give me a break. And I'm shitty at this game. I'm not even talking shit because I'm good. I'm terrible at this game. Well, let's see what's gonna happen. He does do a lot of overhead shots, so maybe something to protect my head is far more important. Maybe this. Takes me to 65.8. And it's fire. Oh yeah, it's fire. He does fire damage. This does more fire. Add. No. Does more fire. Okay. Alright. Calling it a day on Dark Souls. Oh yeah, that's another thing. He does boost attack to boost his power. And he can switch between different elements. The hell out of here with that Gael shit. Same thing I did with Gael. Raise the stamina, raise the shields. Okay. Okay, raise the stamina, raise the shields. Nope, bad idea. Tank it. Tank it. Tank it. You bastard. And he heals himself as well. No comment assure for you. Switching again. Realize he's losing, so he goes to his little bitch status stuff. Switching again. Switching again. Heal. Switching again. Strike. Stamina. Trying to bleed my stamina. He's trying to bleed my stamina. And this is just his first phase. I believe I'm beating his first phase. Price. Yep. That's one. He's fast too. See how fast he is? Fast stamina recovery, fast damage as well. And he changed his elements to whatever you're weak to. sure if this is a good idea, but I think I beat him the last time by using my ice attack, my ice weapon, not my heavy. We'll see. Nope, none of that for you. Come on then. What? That's bullshit. That is bullshit. That is some serious bullshit. See what I'm saying? The same thing happened with Gael. You're pointing directly shields towards them, and I know for a fact you can't go through the shields. They can't pass through the shields. When people say sometimes they feel like the AI in this game is cheating, it's not bullshit. You could replay that video, go back, rewind. I'm gonna do so today. That's some bullshit right there. That's 2 deaths. Come on, you little bastard. How the hell? You little bastard. Oh, okay. I understand. It was an AoE effect. So it doesn't matter if you were blocking, you took the damage if you were standing too close to him. And that's 3. I don't know what people are talking about. This Gael and all this crap. Gael this, Gael that. The DLC bosses weren't hard at all. The regular game bosses were harder. Okay, maybe I'll switch back to this. I beat this enemy before, that's why I'm not stressing it. I don't have to prove anything by fighting him again. Little bastard. I'm sure it is. Oh. Come on. Oh, that was a bad idea. Again, and his healing. Come on. Comet Azure race. There we go. Second phase. Wait, no, not yet. Oh, here we go. There we go. There goes bitch status. Closing in the gap. There we go. There he goes. His combo attack that you cannot dodge. Millennia style. Come on, attack me. Here's where the game becomes easier. Back up. Here's where it becomes easy, where he becomes like bitch. Oh, actually got me with that one. Keep your distance. In the second phase, you just keep your distance. It's pretty much an easy fight afterwards. The only problem is this weapon is short. If I had long. Back up, back up, back up, back up, back up. Wait for him to do his charge again. I'm gonna wait for him to do his charge. Hit him. Back up, back up, back up. Same thing, rinse, repeat. Oh, I could have just tanked that. Oh shit. He's trying to get me in the combo. He's trying to get me in the combo. You little bitch. I mean, I like this fight because this is more fun than Gael, man. Because he switched it up, you see. He switched up his powers. That's what I call a boss, man. Oh, no, 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 shit. Missed it. Fuck, missed it again. Excellent. I just moved to the side with this. Oh, I just realized what the hell is going on. I'm not even carrying my shield. What the fuck? Oh, I'm not gonna win this one. Why did I put my shield behind my back? I was wondering why I was taking so much damage. Oh, this fucking game, man. Sometimes you feel like it's purposely cheating. I know I didn't put my shield behind my back, and all of a sudden, it's behind my back. You bastard. Now I got no more health. This is why I say sometimes I feel like the game is just cheating. I know for a fact that I didn't have my shield behind my back. I did not press for my shield to go behind my back. The only time you press for your shield to go behind your back is when you hold down on the triangle. At no point did I press for my shield to go behind my back. At no point did I hold down on the triangle. Like, yo man, I'm starting to think that people were right about Dark Souls 3 game. Sometimes they program the AI to fuck with you. Like, if that's the case, then I'm out 6,000. Their games are good, but nah, it would never be in my #1 slot. Bloodborne is about the only one out of all their games. That's my #1 game. All the other games to me are straight bitch made. Elden Ring 2. There's so many glitches, there's so many questionable things that don't make sense. Like the window to which your shields, like you could literally have your shields in front of you sometimes, and they pierce straight through the shields. So the time for which you pull the shields, the time for which the shield's in front of you, it doesn't count that the shield is now in front of you. It's counting the animation towards the shield and it being in front of you. So even if you have it literally in front of you, until the count for the time of pull shields here is over, it's not over. The fuck is wrong with that game? People say Dark Souls 3 is the best game. I don't think so. Proof is in the pudding. Best of their games, of all the Soul games? I don't think so. And I'm shitty at this game. See what I mean? See what I mean? That makes no sense. The shield was up the whole fucking time. And the stamina wasn't completely gone either. That makes sense. That makes sense. The shield's up the whole goddamn time. Looking at the stamina the whole fight, not even looking at the boss. Just my health and stamina. Coming surely fast. Right behind you. Right behind you. Right behind you. Makes no sense. What the fuck is up with that, man? Okay, so when he's red, when his body is red, it means he could grab you. Great, good to know. I completely forgot that. This is why this boss is harder than Gael. No matter what anyone says, this boss is harder than Gael. It could switch up his powers in order to see how it could win. The AI is allowing the bot to figure out how it could win based on how you're performing in the match. They did the same thing with Gael, but Gael didn't have this many freaking powers, like magic, fire, the whole goddamn 9 yards. And it turns around when it's doing an attack. Like, look at that. It's like a full 180. You would literally have to be behind him. Caught me with that, really? Look at that shit. It desperately wants to win. It desperately wants to win. It desperately wants to win. Look at it. It desperately wants to win. It desperately wants to win. It cast the whole power up twice. Here we go. Alright, this should be good. I got 10 flasks. As long as I don't get caught in this bitch mode thing, I'm good. Keep your distance, keep your distance. Oh. My bad. That was my fault. Desperately trying to win. It doesn't know what to do because the shield is so OP. So he tried to close the gap so he could do his combo. It's like, this bastard, he keeps blocking. That's what the AI is saying. Oh, no, there we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. I just had to do 2. I just had to do 2. Alright. I'm gonna block this one. Not even gonna... What the fuck? Oh, he can grab. I forgot he can grab too. Cheat. Oh, you little bitch. Desperate to lower my stamina. Desperate. Nope, no combos for you. The AI is desperate, it's scared. It's like, I gotta do something about his bars. His blocking. There we go. I gotta do something about his damn blocking. So let me close the gap so I can combo him. What am I gonna do? He has that damn naval shield. What a bastard. Look, and it comes off. The block comes off after that. Some shit, man. I mean, are people seeing this shit? I mean, I wouldn't. People are not seeing this. I'm just recording this for myself. Come on. Okay, stamina, recover stamina. The damn lock-on came off when he did that thing in the sky. What kind of shit is that? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's like, see, it's doing all kinds of shit now because it doesn't know what to do. It doesn't know what to do. It's now going to try to close the gap. Yeah, it doesn't know what to do. I'm going to close the gap so I can do a combo. This guy and his blocking, there it is. You see it? The moment my stamina went all the way down, he did the combo. It doesn't know what to do. This guy and his naval shield. Or Havel shield. And lock came off again. Lock on came off again. Why the fuck does it keep doing that? Oh yeah, I forgot. I know why it's doing that. This game is trying to give the AI an advantage. And it's not like I'm out of range. There, I made a mistake. I went in for that. Should have waited till he did the huge charge. The huge charge. The huge charge. Come on, huge charge. There you go. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this guy that has the shield. I'm gonna close the gap as much as I can to try to do my combo and grabs. But he keeps letting go of his shields and putting back his shields up. Fuck you. Like, when you understand the mechanics of this game, it's like, the AI can do nothing. Nothing. It's desperately trying to figure out what to do. It knows it's about to die. So it's gonna do anything in its power in order to win. There it is again, the goddamn lock off. What the fuck? The motherfucking game, man. The motherfucking Dark Souls 3 final boss. It automatically took off the fucking lock on demand when it does that attack. The fuck out of here. I'm gonna play this one more time. If I die again, I'll give a big middle finger to this fucking game. A big middle finger. Because that is bullshit right there. The AI takes off your fucking lock on. The AI takes off your fucking lock on. Unbe-fucking-lievable. You're not out of range or anything. It just takes off the lock on the enemy purposefully. This fucking game, man. It's like all the Dark Souls 3 bosses, like some of them make sense and some of them don't make sense at all. It's like the AI is desperate to figure out how to beat you and it doesn't know how. So it automatically switches things up that doesn't make sense. Well, it makes sense for the AI itself. But sometimes it does a double of the same combo, a double of the same attack. Because it figures that it understands how you play. This fucking guy in his 180 goddamn range. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. I would say this again. I'll say it over and over and over and over and over again. It makes no sense that it could be doing that amount of damage when you have your full shield up. It makes no sense. You have damage reduction, you have damage absorb. The only thing I could think of is if I put this on, but that increased the weight amount. If I put this on, I increase my HP and my stamina a little. The only thing I could think of if to increase my strength of my attack, to lower equipment load, increase strength of attack, but then that increases that. Remove dark and fire protection damage, I guess. Maybe that's one of the, yeah, that's the reason why I had the wrong rings on. It's like the AI the AI is cowardly. It doesn't know how to beat you, so it tries to figure out everything possible within its own allowed system. So it doesn't know how, but it tries to do so within the allowed system. Alright, so fire damage. I need more fire damage. It's the AoEs doing the damage, or magic damage. It's mostly magic damage or fire. Yeah, this might actually be the best choice. But the problem is physical damage is a problem. 17.5 and this at 18.8. I could take the fire damage if I had my shields up, but the physical damage is a problem. Like, this dude is harder than freaking Gael, man. I don't know what the hell anyone's talking about with Gael. I'm gonna ember myself up this time. I already beat this boss by myself. I don't really need to fight him again. I just want to fight him again simply because I know how his mechanics work. Oh, for fuck's sakes, man. Yeah, this boss is harder than Gael. This boss is definitely harder than Gael. And Sister Friday. The weird part is I understand how this stamina, equipment load, blah blah blah, how all that works. It's more like magic damage. More like probably magic damage absorption is more important than anything else. It's magic and it's fire, but it's fire. But there's no fire damage absorption. But I believe physical damage absorption is more important. He does electricity attack as well. He does all types of elemental attack. Frost, poison, frost, curse, the whole 9 yards. But I'm more concerned about actual physical damage from this enemy. But it's more about his magic attacks. But if I remove that, then I lower the equipment load. So the equipment load has to be a factor. But if I put this on, it says 7.3. The thing that makes sense is this, man. This is a stronger helmet and everything. It's just for the gloves, it's a problem. If I'm only going to use one weapon, might as well. Screw it. It's the only thing that makes sense. Well, it's the only thing that makes sense. Is the only thing I'm going to use. So be it. I gotta say though, it's like the setup for the entire how the mechanics of the AI works is extremely fickle. How you could have your shield up at one time, and how if there's even a smidget, if you're not facing the enemy directly in front or to the side or wherever it is, you take damage. It's very fickle. The AI knows it's scared of you, so it will do anything possible in order to win. that's how you beat Soul of Cinder. Is he a hard boss? In the first phase he is. Second phase not so much. You just have to remember not to get caught by the attack. Is he harder than Gael? Yeah, he is. Anyone who says otherwise didn't pay attention to the Gael fight before this one. So I'm ending this for the day. This is my Dark Souls 3 adventure coming to a close. Defeated all the bosses. At least all the bosses that matter anyway towards the DLC and the regular game. And I'm done. And yes, the window with regards to the AI being able to see an opening is very short. To the point that you would think is pure bullshit. So I literally had my shield up once and it went straight through the shield. This game glitches out sometimes, and the window between the shield being up and not being up is also short. But this is Dark Souls 3 to an end. Is it better than Bloodborne? No, it's not. I played the whole thing, beginning to the end, and both DLCs. There are sections in Dark Souls 3 that are better than Bloodborne, like the Painted World DLC. Yes. And certain areas within Dark Souls 3. Yes. And about 2 bosses from the regular game. Yes. But are the bosses better than the Bloodborne bosses? Wait, if you begin Journey 3, you will not be able to return to Journey 2. Are you sure you wish to? No. I have no intentions of doing New Game Plus 3. Or New Game Plus Plus. The fact that I beat the game on the regular and then on New Game Plus simply because the DLC, that's the end. So, calculating the bosses. First boss. Not the weakest boss. You'll be surprised he's actually not the weakest boss, even though he's the beginning boss. Surprising to me, once I played the DLC, I realized the weakest boss is probably both the DLC and this game is the dragon. That's not part of the DLC. It's climbing the tower and avoiding the enemies so they don't kill you before you get to the dragon's heart. Once you avoid them, he's the easiest boss in all Dark Souls 3, both that and DLC. Gundyr will come in at 3rd place. The second easiest boss was... No, Gundyr will come in at 2nd place. So Gundyr is 2nd place for easiest boss. The dragon is 1st. So starting from the beginning, Gundyr, 2nd weakest boss in the game. Not the weakest. 2nd boss. Or next boss, I would say Osiris Consume King would come in at near the 3rd, under, slightly above Gundyr. I know because I'm shitty at this game. So if I beat him and I say that, you know, because someone's shitty at the game, he wasn't that hard, it's because, well, unless you, here's the thing, why bosses are hard to people. They're not wearing the strong gear. If you're wearing light gear and you're using this certain type of weapons, it'll be hard. If you're a necromancer or a wizard caster, the boss will be hard because they do more physical damage. But if you're armed up to the T, big weapons and physical gear on you, this boss is not hard. So this will be the 3rd weakest boss in the game. Dancer, I would say Dancer will come in at the 7th weakest boss in the game. So Dancer's above Consume King and above Gundyr. And the dragon. Hollow Pits, the demon, oh okay, wait a minute. Crystal Sage. He's above Gundyr. He's not above Dancer. He's not above Consume. But he is above the dragon. So he would be, at the moment, the 2nd weakest boss. on that scale. Farron Keep. The Abyss Watchers. Definitely hard. They're either the hardest enemy in the game or the second hardest. I had more deaths with Abyss Watchers than I ever did against killing off the first flame, the final boss of the regular game, not DLC. So this is probably the hardest boss in the game. Abyss Watchers. Because there are two of them fighting you, and you gotta run for it, and then they fuse and become one. Like Demon Prince. But the difference is, he charged towards you with his charging attack, and then he does a combo directly after, like, kill of the first flame. So this is either the first hardest boss in the Dark Souls 3, or the second. Let's see. Deacons of the Deep, not hard at all. Were they harder than Crystal Sage? Nope. They would be considered the second weakest above Gundyr. So now Crystal Sage is third weakest. Because Deacons were extremely weak. Let's see, who else? Old Demon King, he's stronger than all of them, except Abyss Watchers. I had more deaths with him than any other boss except Abyss Watchers. Dancer, I believe Dancer is slightly stronger than him. So Dancer is above Old Demon King. Who else? No, Dancer is still harder than Aldrich, to be honest with you. I had more problems fighting Dancer than I did fighting Aldrich. But then again, Aldrich wielded a lot of magic. No. Aldrich is weaker than Dancer. Yep, he's much weaker than Dancer. Aldrich was much weaker than Dancer. Pontiff Sylvan, harder than Dancer. Harder than any boss except Abyss Watchers. Harder than any boss except Abyss Watchers. So he would come in second hardest. I mean, he would come in second hardest in the game, in the regular game so far. Kill of the First Flame still harder than him. So Kill of the First Flame is in second place as the hardest boss in Dark Souls 3. Based on a person who's shitty at the game. It's proof that I'm shitty at the game. I had to wear big ass armor and have the strongest weapon just to kill enemy. I'm not good at dodging either. Had my shields up most of the times. Who else? Yarm the Giant. Not hard at all. Definitely not the easiest, actually the strongest boss in the game if you're not using his sword. So he would be the #1 strongest boss in all of Dark Souls 3 if you weren't using his special sword. Once you got that special sword, he's the 4th weakest boss in the game. Some people might say he's actually the weakest boss in the game because you have to fight Gundyr in his second form, which you have to put up more fight with Gundyr in the second form than with Yarm. So I would still put him at the second hardest rather than Gundyr, simply because the sword is his weakness, but he hits like a truck even when you have the sword, so you have to dodge accurately. So he's slightly above Gundyr. So he's now the second weakest boss in the game. I can't believe the Deacons of the Deep are actually stronger than this dude. And he looked so intimidating at the beginning when you saw the video. I can't believe it. I got robbed fighting this guy. It's so bitch made when you pick up that weapon. But here's the thing, if you don't use the Storm Rider blade, the fight against him is extremely long and you will die. Okay, Twin Prince. No. Dragon Slayer armor. 3rd strongest enemies in the game. They're not stronger than Gundyr. I mean, they're not stronger than Kill of the First Flame. They're not stronger than Abyss Watchers. I died more times to Abyss and Kill of the First Flame than Dragon Slayer armor. Or equally, they're on the same playing field. Killing of the First Flame and Dragon Slayer armor are both tied as the second place. Twin Prince, no, 3rd place, 3rd hardest boss in Dark Souls 3. The dragon, like I said before, at Archdragon P. The weakest boss in the game, by far. You just jump on his head, end of story. Killing him with the first flame obviously comes in second. Now onto the DLC. DLC bosses. Sister Friede. She would be, is she above Killing with the first flame? She's the most annoying boss and she has 3 phases. Did I die more time to her than Kill with the first flame? Yes, I did. So she would be in second place above Kill with the first flame. So Kill with the first flame is now in third place. Sister Friede in second. Still died more times to Abyss Watchers than her. And I'm shitty at the game. Champion Gravetender. No. Champion Gravetender will come in at 6th place as the weakest boss in the game. He's not in the top 5. He would be 6th or 7th place. No. He'll be in 6th place. And on to Ring City DLC bosses. There are 4 of them. Demon Prince. See, this is where it becomes hard. I had more harder time fighting Demon Prince than I did Friede. But I had more fun time fighting Friede than I did Demon Prince. So Sister Friede would be in 3rd place. Demon Prince would be 2nd. So Sister Friede is either 2nd or Demon Prince is 2nd. But Abyss Watchers is still harder to me. I had more trouble fighting Abyss Watchers than I did fighting Demon Prince. I'm struggling with it. Is it Demon Prince or Abyss Watchers that's the hardest enemy in the game? Because I died equally amount of time to Demon Prince than I did to Abyss Watchers. So it's a gamble. It's a gamble between Abyss Watchers and Demon Prince. I'm shitty at this game. Extremely shitty. And I had more difficult time fighting Demon Prince than I did Friede. And I believe Abyss Watchers is on the same playing field. So both number 1 hardest boss in the game comes in 2. Demon Prince and Abyss Watchers. Sister Friede was just annoying. She's not hard. She's just annoying. She would be in 2nd place as the hardest boss in all Dark Souls 3, including DLC. Killed them for first flame will be in 3rd place. The 1st place goes to Demon Prince and Abyss Watchers. Can you have 2 bosses as your first? Yes, I died equally amount to Demon Prince and Abyss Watchers. Okay, so finally, Gael, or actually, Spear of the Church. Spear of the Church. Spear of the Church would be in 5th place. 5th place hardest boss in the game. No, not even. Would be in 6th place, which means it knocks all the previous bosses I talked before into lower slots. Spear of the Church would be in the 6th, no, not even, in the 7th place. 7th place. They're harder than Gundyr was, they're harder than the Dragon was, they're harder than Yurm was, they're harder than the Deacon were, they're harder than the old King, old Demon King was. So they would be in the 7th place, which knocks all the previous ones I talked of into lower place and knock the weakest ones such as Yurm and Gundyr and the Dragon out of the top 10 slot. And finally, Slave Knight Gael. Gael will be in the 5th place hardest boss in the game. 5th. I would put Gael as 5th. Amongst the DLCs and the regular Dark Souls 3, Gael will be in the 5th place. So, 1st place goes to Abyss Watchers and Demon Prince. I would put both of them as number 1. If you didn't have trouble with Abyss Watchers, then you probably had trouble with Demon Prince. If you didn't have trouble with Demon Prince, then you probably have trouble with Abyss Watchers. It's one or the other. Second place goes to Sister Friday, simply because she was annoying as shit. She's not art, she's just annoying. Third place goes to Kill of the First Flame. You understand his mechanic, his second phase is easy, but his first phase is harder because you keep switching between different elements and different magic powers. Fourth place would go to I just said it. Where is it? Fourth place would go to the Dragon Slayer armor. Is Dragon Slayer armor a little bit stronger than Kill of the First Flame? I would say it's a two-parter. So the third place could either be Dragon Slayer armor or Kill of the First Flame. So third place goes to Dragon Slayer armor or Kill of the Third Flame. Fourth place would be Gael. So fourth place would be Gael, and finally, last but not least, fifth place would go to Pontiff Sylvan. So that's how that goes. For first place will always be Abyss Watchers or Demon Prince. For second place will always be Kill of the First Flame or Dragon Slayer armor. Third place will be it's hard to remember this stuff. Third place will go to Sixth of Friday, or second place will go to Sixth of Friday. Third place will go to Dragon Slayer armor or Kill of the First Flame. It really depends on who you found more difficult, but I found Dragon Slayer armor to be more difficult than Sister Friday. She was just annoying, so I would put her in third place rather than second. And that's it. That's all there is to it. By the numbers. You know, if you want to separate them by the numbers, your top 5, it would probably be Abyss Watchers or Demon Prince as first, and then Abyss Watchers is second, and then Sister Friday is third, or Dragon Slayer armor is third, and then Dragon Slayer armor fourth. Depends on what you want to switch back and forth. And in fifth place would be Kill with the First Flame. Gael wasn't even harder than Kill with the First Flame for me. I died like 4 times to Gael. So those are the top 5. You could switch the top 5 back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But Gael, the last boss in the DLC of Ring City, wasn't harder than the last boss of the actual game at all. His third phase was harder than the last boss of the last boss of the regular game, but his first phase was easier than the last boss of the regular game. So between Gael and Kill of the First Flame, or Soul of the First Cinder, Soul Cinder, the first phase goes to him, and the second phase goes to Gael. So those are both bosses fighting for the 5th spot and the 4th spot, back and forth, 4th, 5th, 5th, 4th. But neither of them are in the top 3. The top 3 would be Sister Friday, Demon Prince, and Abyss Watchers. So obviously Abyss Watchers is harder than Sister Friday and Demon Prince, because I had a harder time fighting them. Easy had a harder time fighting them. So this is, let's see, since I'm done with this, I could begin Journey 3, but I want to play a new game. But in order for me to play a new game, I would need to set up a new account and a new slot, a new journey. So I'm not going to begin Journey 3. What I am going to do is I'm going to finish the game. I'm going to exit out and call it a day for Dark Souls 3. And thereafter start anew and new character, so that the next time in the future, when I play this again, which I'm not going to, but if I do, if I ever do play this again, I don't have to worry about creating a new save again. It will already be there. Or maybe I should leave it just the way it is. Yeah, I'll leave it just the way it is. If I want to start new again, I'll start it new again. So my opinions of Dark Souls 3 is that the bosses aren't harder than Bloodborne bosses. 2 of the bosses in Dark Souls 3, maybe 3, are harder than Bloodborne bosses. I know this for a fact after fighting them. The ones that I name in the top 5 slot are the ones I died the most to. And out of those 5, only 3 really gave me trouble that I died beyond 20 or 30 times. The Abyss Watchers I died more than 30 times to. Demon Prince I died more than 20 times to. Sister Friede I died about 15 times to. Dragon Slayer Armor I think I died about 20 times to. I might died more times to them than to Sister Friede. And I think killed First Flame I died about 10 times to most on my first playthrough. 10 or 12 times. Yeah. Gael I only died like 4 or 5 times to him. Most I could think is 5, but I think I only died 4. So yeah, the hardest boss in Dark Souls 3, the top 3, are the hardest one. To me is Demon Prince or Abyss Watchers. Plain and simple. Sister Friede, she was just annoying. She wasn't really hard. Once you understood her mechanics, you understand how she works. So I can't really give her credit. So disappearing act was the annoying hardest part. But her herself, the fight was rather boring. And it wasn't hard. I just knew what to do. When she disappeared, I ran to the place where she disappeared to. I hit her. And when she went into the second phase, I didn't waste my time fighting the old man. I killed her, or I killed the old man first, so that she doesn't have enough time to heal him. And in her third phase, that's the hardest part in her entire fight. Her third phase. Her first and her third. So she basically only really had like 2 phases, even though she had 3. But to me, Demon Prince was far more harder, because you're fighting 2 giant-sized creatures that do heavy damage. And then they turn into just one that does huge splash fire damage. And they always kept it distance, so you have to close the gap by running to it. His first phase was to me more troubling than the second. So yeah, that's my take on Dark Souls 3. The hardest bosses in the game only came in like 3. Sister Friede, Abyss Watchers, and Demon Prince. Every other enemy, every other boss was doable. If you died 15 to 20 times against bosses in the game, that's the standard of Dark Souls. The standard is you die 10, 15, or 20 times. That's the standard. The standard is, what's not standard is once you start dying 50 or 60 times, then that's not standard. That's, if you're dying 50 or 60 times or more, then that means those are the hardest bosses in the game. And I died 30 times, 30 or 40 times to Abyss Watchers, I believe. Honestly, I think I might have died actually more. Same thing for Demon Prince. I guaranteed I died more than 25 times. Or more than 20 times. Same thing for Sister Friede. I know I died more than 15 times, that's for a fact. So I probably died 20 times. 20 or 30 times. So yeah, those are the hardest bosses of the game. They're not harder than Bloodborne bosses. Orphan of Cause. Lawrence the First Vicar, and what's the name of that boss? It's not Maria. Maria's pretty easy. If you understand how the lizard are. If you don't, then it's a problem. And there's another boss that's annoying in Bloodborne. But there are 3 annoying bosses in Bloodborne that are hard to fight. And those 3 bosses are harder than Dark Souls 3 bosses. That's just a fact. Who's the hardest boss in Dark Souls or Bloodborne? You know? Or Soulsborne? It will always be Lawrence the First Vicar. Or the Orphan of Kos. Orphan extremely fast. Orphan extremely durable. And Orphan swings a huge hammer. So his recovery from his time after swinging a hammer, it's crazy. So yeah, I don't know what people are talking about when they're saying Dark Souls 3 bosses are harder. Or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm just assuming because there's so many people who are fans of Dark Souls 3. But it's good. Dark Souls 3 is very good. It's not as great as people make it out to be. It's great, and it's better than Dark Souls 1 and 2. But it's not the greatest Souls game based on what I just saw. So that's it for my journey. Like, I fought all the DLC bosses and all the bosses, and that's it. I mean, I can't say anything else. I'm thinking of every fight I got into, and I'm thinking memorably, would I remember most of these bosses 3, 4, 5 years down the road? I might remember Demon Prince because his name is easy to remember. But I'm definitely going to remember Abyss Watchers. And Sister Friday, I'm going to remember her. Because she's just most annoying out of all of them. But as hardest bosses in all of the Souls franchise, from Fromsoftware, that would go to 3 different games. It would go to Sekiro, Ishin. Ishin would be the 2nd hardest boss in all of Soul franchise. The first hardest will go to Lawrence the First Vicar. And that's all there is to it. As much as I love Dark Souls, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, it's like, I gotta be honest with you, I struggled more against Lawrence and Ishin when I used to play Sekiro on PlayStation 4. So, that's it. It was a fun journey. It was long. But that's my honest opinion about this game, and the bosses, and the fights. And this is my opinion from someone who is extremely shitty at this game. Evidence were in the shield and in the armor. I had to wear big stuff. Yep, so I'm done. Probably won't come back to this because it has some bugs, and it had glitches, and there are certain things that just pissed me off that had nothing to do with the difficulty of the game. And I would think after years that they would fix out those glitches. But, you know, it is an old game, so they don't spend time on it anymore. So, yeah, this is the type of game and bullshit that would make me not come back to the Souls franchise. So, yeah, no matter what game they bring out next, if it's not Bloodborne 2, I ain't fucking with it. Definitely ain't Dark Souls 4. If Dark Souls 4 come out, nah. I'm wait till Bloodborne 2. Elden Ring 2 comes out, nope. Sekiro 2 comes out, nope. If it's not Bloodborne, I'm not playing another Dark Souls game. It has to be Bloodborne 2. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. It's been 3 hours and change. 30 of those minutes probably went to me talking. So it's actually 3 hours of gameplay. That's it. Do I love this game? Hell yeah, it's fun. And I would play it again if it didn't have the glitches that it have and the window between doing things in regards to what you have, what you don't have, shields, sword. Makes no sense. That fight when I had my shield directly in front of me, I still got pierced. Sometimes things don't make sense. I don't play games that doesn't make sense. Even if it's a stressful game, if shit start not making sense anymore, I take a vacation and I don't come back to it for a while. So it's got to be Bloodborne 2, or I'm out. Would I recommend this game to someone who wants to play a difficult Souls game? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I would recommend this. But I would tell them, like, listen, once you're done with it, be done with it. And come back to it only if you love playing it. And you didn't have an annoying time, not based on the bosses or anything else, but the mechanics itself. The mechanics for this game is old and outdated. That's all there is to it. Alright. I'm out.